I work as a sculptor because I learned a number of things to do with mechanics and working with steel when I was young. And so with all of this stuff, I ended up in art school and I used it to make, well, it combined to make my sculpture. This area is an industrial area of London and has a number of places, people that I can go to help me get a job done. So next door is powder coating company, and next door to them is some welders, and then I'm in the middle, and then over the other side there's a man with a big yard that I can use if I need to make larger sculpture than I can make in here. There's an engineer that worked in the States, and I've read his autobiography, and it's quite interesting the way that he treats where he puts his workshop. So he put his workshop close to the railway sidings, so that he could get steel fast. And he still wasn't getting steel fast enough, so he made the sidings bigger, and then 3 years later he's still not getting enough steel, so in the end he built himself a steel mill and started making his own steel. But that's obviously something that I can't do, make my own steel mill, but I can certainly move next to the powder coaters to bring that thing down, and I can certainly move next to the welders in case I need to offload more welding to someone. I work mainly with steel, which is a very versatile material for making machines with, and I need something versatile because I run hydraulic systems, and so that's what it does. That's why I use it. I make maquettes, and I have a wood workshop and casting facility and spraying and so on. So I use a lot of stuff, but the majority of the heavier work for the sculpture is welding and steel work. In the processes that I use, that I contract out, so laser cutting steel that I contract out, I obviously don't have a facility for doing that. So that's great that there's a facility out there that can do that. From my perspective in the workshop, I need versatile equipment which can get a number of jobs done at once. So when it comes to prototype building, a horizontal bandsaw or a MIG welder can really save your day, you know. So that's what I use. I'm going to get a forklift at some point because this is a new studio and it's big enough to have one, and that will speed me up as well, rather than breaking my back moving bits of steel about. I like the idea of being able to do pretty much everything in-house. So all the way through the build and all the way up to the show, nothing feels out of place. From the original drawing, everything is there. I think it gives a kind of, you have a confidence, if that's an expression for it, all the way through, to see its place in the gallery. So for me, that's how I keep my working day. I like to have it in-house. I don't use technicians to make things for me. Like when I speak about hydraulics, Brian, who runs Forest Hydraulics, he basically has to make the hoses because they have to be pressure tested, and it would be a massive health and safety risk if I was making them myself or using old hoses like eBay buys. So Brian makes them from new hose, and they're tested to meet my pressure of my hydraulic system and the power packs I use. Everything gets done, and projects obviously get bigger because you look back in over 3 years and you go, I mean, that was easy to make, but now I'm making this, which is I wouldn't have dreamed of making 5 years ago, because I'm like, where would I have got that still from? Where would I have got that machine from to do that? So everything's kind of a progression. I suppose I treat it quite organically, and I think a lot of sculptors do, and that's really what distinguishes you from an engineer to sculpture, is that there are a number of organic processes which happen before really encountering a situation where you have to take on a project that's bigger than anything you've ever done. You really build up to that. But then I suppose you do have sculptors and other artists who get commissions and they find themselves in that situation. It's a situation that I've never felt myself in, and it's one that I wouldn't want to be in either, because I think that it's really important to be able to make the best piece of work you possibly can in the situation that you're in. So I'm happy growing it than jumping in the deep end.